Hi, so I had this great idea that I was going to get on here and really share this word that I had been studying today because I was just asking God for something, but I was looking for a word for myself. And in all transparency, the word was really for me. And the word was about Elijah, and how he had, I won't say he was in hiding, but he was being hid, I'll say, because they were looking for him, right? And how Ahab and Obadiah set out to go find grass to keep their livestock alive during a drought. So Ahab goes out one way, Obadiah goes out the other way. When Obadiah goes out, um, he runs into Elijah, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, is it my master?" And Elijah is like, "Yeah, this is me." And so Elijah wants Obadiah to go and tell Ahab that he's seen him. And of course, Obadiah is afraid because Obadiah is like, no, like Ahab is, people have been looking for you. And when they, come back with no report, Ahab kills them. I don't want to die. So Elijah's like, no, go back and tell him God is going to protect you. Go back and tell him. And Obadiah, being the believer that he is, he went and delivered the message. So Obadiah goes to deliver the message that, Elijah wants to meet him face to face. So they meet up face to face. And the first thing Ahab says is, "Oh, you troublemaker." Elijah's like, "Nah, I'm not the troublemaker. You and your people are the troublemaker. Like, y'all around here faltering between two opinions." And that was my word for myself, is faltering between two opinions. And the real word that I got out of it was once the people, Obadiah and not Obadiah, Ahab and Elijah decided, hey, we're going to see whose God is the God that answers by fire. So they get their sacrifices on an altar, and Ahab and, his people call on their gods, all day and all night. Their God never answers. They cut themselves, they bleeding out, and, they so distressed because their God didn't answer. Their gods didn't answer. So Elijah, he's being real cocky. And Elijah's like, hey, let's go build an altar. Put the sacrifice on the altar. Now go pour water on the wood. Wet everything up. Put water all around the altar. He's like, all right, do it again. All right, do it 3 times. Make sure everything is soaking wet, like, so that there is no excuse. Nobody can say anything. This stuff was wet up. So they wet everything up, and Elijah called on God, and God answered by fire. Fire rained from the sky, burned everything up. All the water burned everything up, right? And that was their test. They decided to test to see whose God was real. And the people saw whose God was real. And, of course, now they believed in the God that answered by fire. And for myself and for everyone else, don't get tested and in that test find out that you call on your gods all day and all night and they don't answer. The best thing that we can do is hedge our bets on the God that answers by fire. Because it didn't take Elijah all day. And that's another thing, is that we don't have to call on God all day and all night. We call on him and he hears and he answers. But we tend to put our faith in people and things, and it goes all the way down to just small things that happen in our lives every day that we don't consult God on. So that was the word for me, is that you have to stop faltering between two opinions. Choose today who you're going to serve. I see a lot of people getting into saging and smudging, and I'm not into it. I really don't see the purpose, because I don't see how herbs hold power. Probably make some people mad with that, but that's fine too. Herbs don't hold power. God holds power. So you can place your bets with them herbs and that smoke you blowing all around your house, or you can place your bet with the God who answers by fire. And as for me and my house, that's what we're going to continue to do. I want to be more intentional in seeking God, and trusting God with everything that concerns me. I heard somebody say one time, they said, God wants to know that you are concerned about you. I'll never forget it. That thing touched me, because I find sometimes, like, I'm not praying like I should. And I'm like, God know this going on. God know that going on. But sometimes he needs to know that you are concerned about you. So stop looking to people. Stop running here. Stop running there. Stop looking for that person to give you a word. I'm going to see Prophet so-and-so in town. Prophetess so-and-so told me this. Are they your gods? Or are you wanting to hear an answer from the God who answers by fire? That's for me. I hope that in your test, you are not finding yourself not being answered, not being protected, not being cared for, because that's where you are putting your faith. He answered by fire.